So you started doing this, when was your first corn patch?
I was 6 years old.
6?
6 years old.
I'm in Plainfield, Wisconsin at the Syngenta Research Facility. Here they specialize on the next best variety of green beans and especially sweet corn. No better place in Wisconsin to tell this story. Corn is so important here, it's actually even on the state quarter. Glenn McKay, what do you do around here?
Yeah, well, I'm a product manager or portfolio manager for Syngenta.
Okay. What does that mean exactly?
Well, you know, I work with sweet corn, green beans, and peas, and
all great things.
Yeah, and really what I'm doing is managing the portfolio for, you know, what varieties we bring in, how do we position them in the market, how do we price them, and then on the other side of it is how do we exit the varieties. So it's really interesting. I take care of all the varieties for the Americas.
Right.
So
when you say the Americas, you mean all of them.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
get
a
down to
lot of
Brazil
different kind of corn has different uses, different growing zones.
Yeah.
This works better here, this works better there.
Exactly.
So the main focus of this facility, corn, green beans.
Yep, it's corn and green beans, that's
good
right.
Old hearty staple foods
Yeah,
that kind of feed the world and keep it running. A lot of success stories already out of this field.
Yeah, for sure. The biggest varieties we've ever developed have been as a result of the work done in this trial grounds or trial field here.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of the current superstars?
Well, I would say one of them is Revision.
Mm-hmm.
It's a triple sweet type that's doing really, really well in the market, and we're getting a lot of excitement in the market about it. People really like how it eats.
Right.
But then we've got several processor varieties that are leading the market.
And when we say processor, that's a corn that's not going to go to market fresh. You're not going to sit down at the table and eat that on the cob.
Exactly.
You know, Glenn, I'm not sure everybody understands that there's different kinds of corn for different purposes.
Right.
We're sitting here talking about sweet corn specifically.
Yep.
In the industry, when we say sweet corn, we mean corn that you are going to eat, not as part of something else. It's not going to cattle feed, it's not going to ethanol.
No.
It's not, there's no popcorn coming from any of that.
No, for sure not. Yep.
Now here's a question, and this comes up all the time in the research community. Isn't corn already kind of perfect?
I would say sweet corn is actually pretty good,
Yeah.
but it's not perfect, and we're always looking to improve.
So where do the improvements come? Is it better flavor? Is it a better aroma? Is it longer lasting? Does it ship better? Does it bruise less easily?
Right.
What are you trying? What's the next version of the wheel look like?
Those are the key elements, and depending on which market we're developing for, depends which of those traits are more important. Like for fresh eating, the stuff that you're going to buy and take home and eat on the cob, we want it with really good flavor. We want a good shelf life. We want nice color, that whole package. And then if you're talking about a processor, the grower who grows the processor corn wants green yield. He wants more ears per acre, more tons per acre. That processor wants more kernels cut off the cob, so what we would call recovery. They want more of that per ton, and then they need to be able to process that to make a product that's actually really good for the consumer. So it gets very complicated very quick.
So there's different corns for different purposes.
Exactly. I mean, literally in my portfolio for the Americas, there's over 100 varieties.
Wow. Growers come to you and tell you what they need.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're always engaging growers and understanding their needs, because we have to set up a breeding program to be able to address those needs, and that's a long-term process, Chip. And at Syngenta, we're really committed to the sweet corn industry. We've got the largest breeding and R&D program in the world.
Glenn, let's maybe take a tour through.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd love to give it
All
to
right,
you.
let's go.
It's interesting because we sell a lot through dealers, and the dealers can sell anything. And you know, they have what they want to do their thing and they want to sell their varieties, but then we go one layer deeper and we talk to the consumer, the people that are eating the corn. At Syngenta, we're definitely investing in the future. We're very conscientious about sustainability and, you know, growing more with less. And that's one side of it, but then the other side is the next generation, and that's what we're talking about here with Weston. You know, and not only is it the next generation, but it's the next generation of farmer who hasn't come from a farming family. You sold quite a bit today?
A decent amount.
Yeah? So what variety are you selling today?
Selling my Remedy Triple Sweet.
Oh, awesome, awesome.
People say they love it.
Yeah?
They just love the corn taste, the sweet, milky taste of the sweet corn.
That's awesome. Well, we're excited with the varieties that you're growing with the Remedy and the Revision. And
Yep.
we're hearing a lot of the same feedback from other customers.
Yep.
And it's really the consumer. What does the consumer say? And they're really thrilled with the fact that we're back to sweet corn the way it's supposed to taste.
Yes.
You know, it's not just that really super sickening sweet.
Yep.
It's this nice balance of flavor, tenderness, and texture. And it sounds like that's what you're hearing
That's
as well.
my goal, right?
Yeah.
Just to give that the corn taste, not just
Yeah.
like sugar taste.
Exactly. When I first met Weston, I saw a young boy that was very energetic, very excited and passionate about sweet corn. And of course that really resonated with me because when I was his age, I had that same passion for sweet corn. And actually when I was 12 years old, I was sitting not far from here on the back of my dad's pickup truck selling Jubilee sweet corn. And you know, Weston, it's interesting because we had customers coming up to me saying the same thing. Man, we really like your corn. We like the flavor, we like the taste. Okay, and that really resonated with me, and it helped shape my future. And I'm excited for Weston and what he's doing, and I think what he's doing now is going to shape his future. This is having a huge impact, and frankly, the world needs more farmers, and we need them to come from other places than just farm families, because we know the farm families are getting smaller. There's getting to be less, so then where are the farmers going to come from? And here we got Weston, who didn't grow up on a farm, but he's passionate about farming, he's passionate about sweet corn. So the first time we met, we really hit it off. And you know, we started talking about what varieties we're going to grow, and you know, Weston tried a lot of different things that Syngenta offers, and he picked the triple sweets. And you know, why did you pick the triple sweets? You could have picked anything out of our portfolio and I would have helped you with it. But
Once again, it's just the flavor of the triple sweets. It tastes like it has the perfect balance between that corn flavor, but also that sweet flavor with that milky texture.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no better variety that you
Right.
showed me.
Hey, Weston.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. Hey, this is Doug Playsted.
Hey, nice to
he's
meet
the guy
you.
that developed your triple sweets.
Hey, thank you so much.
And this is Jay.
Hey, Weston.
Hey, nice
He's
to meet you, Jay.
he's a sales guy for us, and he's from New York.
Yeah, that's great.
He grows corn just like you
Yep,
on
heard
a
a lot
roadside
about you.
stand.
We
Hey,
got a lot in
thank you.
common.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go look at some corn?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Doug Playsted, you're a breeder with Syngenta. We're in your laboratory right now.
Yep, this is at least my testing laboratory.
Yeah.
Where we find out how the products that we've been developing in, you know, nurseries and labs and stuff out here.
Where you see if the proof is actually in the pudding.
Pudding, exactly.
It'd be corn pudding at this point.
Right.
The scientific community is constantly coming up with the next best varieties, looking to enhance desirable traits. You want to make it taste better. You want to make it last longer. You want to make it smell better. You may want to make it look prettier. You may want to make it more resistant to disease or bugs or anything else. You're always looking for the freak.
Yep.
You're always looking for the mutant that does something better. Often you don't know why it does something better. One of the things that amazes me about breeding is how many contestants in the race that there are. You know, when you're looking to get, how many varieties are on trial here in this field?
Well, I asked the assistant and she said about 4,000, maybe 3,000.
4,000,
Different.
3,000.
Yeah, 3,000 or 4,000.
And all just slightly different than the other.
Yeah.
These qualities, that qualities. Right here, they're running a race.
Yeah.
Those 3,000 to 4,000 varieties are running a race to be maybe the next one, next two that come out at the head of that pack.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a heck of a challenge, Doug.
Yeah. We're trying to find, well, we're talking about going to the steps that are closer to commercial. There might only be, of these 4,000, there might only be 3, you know, that are going to
out
on
of the
commercial
4,000.
And then of those, about half will not fail the first
So about half
of those
after that only make it through 1 year,
Yeah.
and the farmers come back to you and go, nope,
No.
that one, try again.
Right. But the ones that do make it, the ones that do make it are going to be pretty good.
Wow. And you're still chipping away
Oh yeah.
at that absolutely perfect corn that hits everything that the folks at home are wanting,
Right.
everything that the people who are growing it want.
Right.
It works for Syngenta as a seed company, and it's a win-win-win, but it's a steady, progressive, it's not a fast race.
No.
It's a race, but it's a slow race.
Well, everything's divided by time, so we want to be as fast as we can, but it just takes time.
As a researcher and a breeder, what would be your holy grail?
Right now, one of the big holy grails that we still are working on is something that the consumer really wants. It's really sweet and easy to use, and we're a seed company. We got to grow the seed, and it's got to germinate.
Sure.
And so right now, what tastes best and for the consumers is real sweet and tender pericarps. But from a seed standpoint, that's the worst traits you want. Because they're all the damage and the mold and everything else.
And your germination,
and your
they're
germination's
not gonna sprout
bad,
as well.
And they sprout, and so and you know, maybe they're like heat sensitive where we grow the seed and stuff like that. So still a lot of work for us to do is to make our seed producers happy as well as our customers.
You know, we've seen just in our time here in Wisconsin, several different varieties of corn, all stellar, all tremendous. I think my personal favorite has been the triple sweet variety, which you had a significant hand in the development of that.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I worked on early kind of in my career. Was trying to make the combination of something that had a little bit more flavor or sweetness with the conventional flavor of, you know, older types of corn that had some creamy starch,
more corn
flavor, but yet, you know, we're a little bit more consistent with that sweetness. I mean, the old types of corn growing perfectly and harvested at the perfect hour. Like they said, you got to start the water boiling before you pick the corn.
Bringing it in from the field,
before you bring it in, worked in a way, but it's not, you know, the most convenient sort of thing.
Sure.
So what I tried to develop is how am I going to replicate that? That's going to keep a little while, but still going to be, you know, that old-fashioned corn flavor eating, but has at least some holding ability, and even pump the sugars up a little bit more, but not too much.
Yeah,
you know.
But that's what I loved about the triple sweet, was it was plenty sweet. It was as sweet as I wanted.
Right.
But it tasted more like when I was a kid in the gardens, we grew Silver Queen.
Yeah.
And it tasted like corn. It didn't just taste like sugar.
Exactly.
And tasting the triple sweet, to me, I'm like, I've got the sweetness of a modern variety of corn, and I've got a real corn flavor that I didn't realize until I took that first bite was missing from some of the corn that I eat these days.
Yeah.
So out of these 3,000 to 4,000 that are out here competing, you're hoping to get 3 or 4 winners that will advance into commercial trials.
Yeah.
Do you ever miss one? Does the baby ever get thrown out with the bathwater? Or
Probably very often.
But do they ever get rescued and brought back around and get that second time in the spotlight?
Oh yeah, sometimes we'll think back and we're going, oh, now I understand these criteria. Maybe we should pull, something out.
Because
kinda
that
went
was
by.
really close, and
That
we
was
thought
really
it was
close,
going to be
right.
good, and it didn't
Yeah.
quite work out. But
Yeah.
we remember there was something in it
Yep.
that we now can probably
Use and yes.
finish that
exactly.
last touch.
Exactly. No.
So Glenn, is this the corn I had yesterday
It sure
that I
is.
love so much?
It
Was
sure
it
is.
triple sweet?
Yep, that's
Triple
it.
sweet corn. It doesn't mean it's 3 times as sweet
No.
as other corn, but what's different about this corn? Why did I love it so much?
Well, I don't know. I think maybe that's something you can tell me. What did you like about it?
The kernels were plumper, they were fuller. I was biting deeper into the corn, if that makes sense, without
So deep
hitting the
kernels.
cob.
Deep
Is
kernels.
that what it's called? Deep
Yeah,
kernels. All right,
yeah.
deep kernels. Every corn that's come through the chain is part of the building block that has helped people like Doug and his team
Yeah.
develop this next best variety of corn, and that's the one that knocked me out yesterday.
Yeah.
And I
that's
thought,
it.
again, the plumpness of that kernel, the milkiness, the creaminess, just the
Right.
natural creaminess of it, and just that taste, the taste.
Right. And that taste, there's some of that old Silver Queen taste in this.
Yeah.
Right. That didn't go away. And that's why one of the reasons why this type of corn is so important. It has that older genetics in it. And that's what gives it that unique, really good quality taste.
So
this is your favorite corn, and it's my favorit corn as well.
Okay.
And I taste thousands of varieties a year, and
can
I've
see
tasted
occupational-
probably hundreds of thousands in my career
Wow.
as doing
pro-
product development and portfolio management.
Wow. Hundreds of
But
thousands.
this is the one I choose.
Yeah.
This is what I choose to take home to my family, and you know what? They love it.
You
They
know,
absolutely love it.
and the thing is, at the end of the day, what has to come out of these fields and what has to come out of research is a product that the folks at home are going to love.
Right.
It could be easy for the farmer to grow. It could grow itself. It could use no water. It could harvest itself
Right.
and drive itself to market. But if it doesn't taste good to the folks at home,
Right.
none of that's going to matter. From a corporate level, Syngenta being the starting point that the grower is going to pick up, and then that's going to go home with people.
Right.
You guys have to see that full spectrum, even as Doug and his team are just starting that work.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it really starts, like you say, with the customer.
Yeah.
And it's understanding what the customer wants. And, you know, I talk to a lot of people. I give a lot of corn away. I give a lot to my friends, to the family, to neighbors.
Yeah.
And, you know, they take a bite of this corn, and I really ask them what they think of it. And, you know, at first they say, oh, that's the best corn I ever had. Okay, are they just being nice or are they being real? And I go, oh, come on, really? Yeah, it's the best. And then I start drilling down, what is it that you like?
Yeah.
And you know what? Everybody gets to the same 3 points that you do.
Same talking points
Yeah,
I just had?
Yeah, it's that flavor, it's the texture,
Texture.
and the sweetness.
Yeah.
And they're like, for the grower, you know, the more the consumer likes it, the more they're gonna sell.
Wow.
You know, and it just, that creates a really good demand. It creates a loyalty. So like a fresh market grower that's growing on a local stand, you know, they're living on repeat business. And people take that home and they eat it and they go, wow, that's really good.
How
They
does
come
this
back.
perform in the field for the grower?
It performs really well in the field. I mean, you know, we're standing in a row.
Right.
I mean, yeah, we're on the edge of the field here, but there's a solid ear on every plant here.
Right.
And this is our new variety revision, which has been outstanding. But there's a real solid yield here. One big ear per plant, and that's what the growers want. They want a consistent performance. They want good yield because they're getting paid. They're selling it by the dozen.
So the folks at home don't really care if it's more resistant to bugs or diseases,
Right.
or if it holds up better or lasts longer or whatever. By that point, again, we've established they don't care. The
Right.
grower most assuredly cares.
That's right.
Every nickel you have to put into a crop is an extra input you don't want to use.
That's right.
That level of pesticide, we're all concerned about chemicals in farming and in the whole world.
Right.
We understand right now it's about hard choices.
Yeah.
Do we produce enough to feed the world,
Right.
or do we just try to do it the old-fashioned way, which in my world we call the bad old days?
Yeah, right.
You know, we had things like famine and starvation.
Yeah.
Still have those problems around
Right.
the world. The developed world doesn't really have to deal with problems like that because of modern production agriculture.
Exactly.
People try to simplify that and say, if everybody just had a garden, we never have to worry about it. These are people who have never had gardens.
That's right, exactly. And we're trying to produce more with less, like you say. And that's really the goal. One of the two goals for our breeding and for Syngenta sweet corn is more with less.
Getting that win-win-win proposition. The folks at home are happy. The people who are growing it are happy.
Yeah, that's the point.
Then you're going to be happy.
Exactly. The consumer needs to be happy.
So yeah, pretty basic, right? Nothing in this food and farming world is as simple as it looks. Even something as fundamental as an ear of sweet corn. The deeper you dig, the more you're going to find. For every question you answer, you ask two more. I kind of believe it's always going to be that way out here where the food comes from.